probably my favorite story out of this art of seduction is the story of this guy named Gabriele D'Annunzio.
Okay.
And so Gabriele D'Annunzio was this Italian poet at the beginning of the 1900s. And he started off as a society journalist. But he's this guy, he's short, he's small, he's bald, he has like blotchy skin. Oftentimes people would make fun of him and describe him as the gargoyle.
The gargoyle.
The gargoyle.
That's not very flattering.
And he was a society journalist, so he would basically write about, what's going on in high society. And the noblemen saw him as this ugly gargoyle guy, and so they didn't feel at all ever threatened about like having him left alone with the wives, right? But one thing that Gabriele D'Annunzio had was he apparently had the most magnificent voice.
Oh.
People describe it as hypnotic, and he just had this way with words. He's a poet. And very quickly he basically ended up betting half the Italian society ladies that are out there.
The gargoyle.
And they loved him so much that they helped basically launch his literary career. And he became a massive literary figure.
Interesting.
When World War I started, he decided to learn how to fly a plane, and he sort of transitioned in Italian society into this war hero. Got all these medals, became this war hero. And what would happen is that this ugly little gargoyle guy with this magnificent voice would sometimes come out on his balcony, right? And there'd be people just waiting outside his balcony just to hear him speak.
Wow.
Right? Because he's now developed. He has this way of speaking, but he now has this aura. He's developed this. He's both a literary figure. He's this military war hero, and one day, he's speaking, angrily about how Italy had to give up this city in the post-war agreement, and the result of it happened is that him and 2,500 of his followers ended up marching on the city in the north of Italy and capturing it.
Wow.
Along the way, one of the Italian generals tries to stop him because, this is against the treaty that Italy signed, right? And he pulls his pistol on Gabriele D'Annunzio. And Gabriele D'Annunzio tells him, like, sure, shoot me first, but shoot me here. And he opens up his jacket, and he's covered in medals. And the Italian,
oh my God!
And the Italian general falls on his knees and starts crying, and joins Gabriele D'Annunzio's cause.
What? That's amazing.
So D'Annunzio ends up taking over this city, Fiume.
Okay.
It's now it's in Croatia, but at this point in time, he takes over the city, and he wants Italy to take the city, to annex the city. But because of the agreement, like they signed a treaty, like Italy's like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. And so he ends up basically declaring independence and becoming dictator of the city. And for about 2 years before, the army is able to get him to surrender. And even though he did all this stuff, basically he was so popular, he just went home and just continued with his life. Now, the danger of the D'Annunzio story is an incredible story. Again, a guy who's not good looking, a guy who has a magnificent voice, who has a good way with words, kind of grew from nobody to becoming this leader. The danger of this story is that one of the people who was paying attention to him and was inspired by him was a guy named Benito Mussolini.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so Benito Mussolini modeled himself on what he saw D'Annunzio being able to do.
No way.
And if you think about it, Hitler then proceeded to model himself on Benito Mussolini.
Wow. Just created this domino effect.
Right. Because they saw what was possible.
Wow. The power of charisma.
The power of charisma.
Wow.
Irrational influence.
Wow.